Hey guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today I'm reviewing the finale of the Righteous Gemstones on HBO. So, as you have seen in my previous reviews, I've been absolutely loving this series, and I think this may have been the funniest episode of the series so far. But that's not to say that this episode didn't have some very dramatic and very heartfelt moments. In the beginning, we are seeing the Gemstone family when they lose their matriarch, Amy Lee, and how much that is affecting the whole family. But I do love how the show has this ability to underscore very heavy, dramatic, heartfelt moments and interject a little bit of comedy into them. And that was really shown in this episode. And that was really shown in that scene where you have the bee flying around, the Gemstone family is manically attacking it. They're just, lashing out at this bee over the death of Amy Lee. And that kind of comes full circle at the end of the episode with Baby Billy. So I liked how they took this bee as something that, they are attacking it. They're just fighting back at it and it's not doing anything. And at the end, they let the bee do what it wants to do, and it ends up reviving Baby Billy. So it's kind of showing that these characters can accomplish more with acceptance and with compassion than they can with just rage and lashing out. And that's been the theme of the whole series, and I like that it kind of wrapped that up in a nice bow, and it uses that symbolism. I thought that the ending scenes in particular, where Eli's giving a really good sermon, a really good monologue by John Goodman, and he's talking about forgiveness, and he's talking about having compassion, and then he learned from his wife and he learned from his experiences in life that, it isn't always the best thing to be vengeful. It isn't the best thing to be selfish. The best thing is to treat others how you would want them to treat you. And I thought that sermon, over top of some of the good closing moments between all the characters, worked really, really well. It reminded me of a scene earlier in the series that I really liked when Jesse Gemstone was giving a sermon about Judas, and you have Gideon, committing those same types of acts. So I like that. I liked how they lined the biblical moments and the preacher moments up with the events happening in the show. Also, like, this episode wrapped up a lot of storylines. We are seeing Jesse and his wife. We are seeing different things going with Judy and BJ, Baby Billy, Eli, Kelvin. They all get their own moments. I feel like they all had pretty complete arcs. They may have happened really quickly. I mean, just this last episode, we are seeing the Gemstones at their absolute lowest point. And at the end of this episode, we're kind of see them come back and realize who they need to be and move forward and progress. But I liked that we got to see the very beginning episode where the whole family is at odds. They're very selfish. They're very hateful. And at the end, they all work together and they all realize that, it's more about the message. It's more about kindness, and that you will get a lot further in life if you just aren't a selfish jerk. And I thought we had one of the funniest little speech things by a character in this episode when Judy is giving the explanation of her relationship with this older teacher. I just could not stop laughing. It was the most ridiculous thing, and it's just so funny. I love that the show has these moments, like with Jesse and Gideon, the very tense moments with Jesse and his wife, and then you have just Judy and BJ, and the relationship just cracks me up. BJ coming back, trying to do the say anything moment, trying to play Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel for her. It was just hilarious. Every single part involving those two really hit home with me. I thought that they were the funniest part of this episode, and it was a really funny episode. And when speaking of wrapping things up, I love that Eli and Baby Billy finally had their ultimate standoff type moment, and then you have Eli forgiving Baby Billy forgiving him, kind of taking expectations of a huge fight, disaster type situation and bringing it full circle, and it really revolves around Amy Lee. Baby Billy, keeps saying, I saw her, adds a comedic moment to it. But the fact that Eli kind of, is brought down by this fact of him thinking about Amy Lee and what she maybe would have really wanted out of his relationship with Baby Billy, and just the Gemstones in general. So I like that we have this ghost of Amy Lee almost watching over the whole show, and then literally watching over at the end of the episode. I think she's been this kind of spirit that's been over the Gemstones, and now we kind of see her vision realize of what she would want them to be. I thought the very, very end of the episode was really excellently done. I didn't know how they were going to wrap up Jesse and Gideon's relationship, but having Jesse be completely humbled, going back to his son, being in Haiti, kind of just totally checking his ego at the door, that's a great arc. I love seeing him from the beginning episode to the final episode. I think that Danny McBride gave a great performance. He showed a wide range of emotions, trying to be very charming, being very mean, being very heartfelt, being very comedic. I liked it. I like that we got to see every aspect of this character and him kind of learn from his mistakes and learn to grow and have a relationship with his son. Like I said, the show does a really good job of having very comedic moments, very dramatic moments, and very heartfelt moments. And I feel the blend was definitely exemplified in this episode. We saw a wide range different types of scenes, and I think that it blended perfect. So at the end of the day, I absolutely loved this season of the Righteous Gemstones. I initially was really excited for maybe getting a season 2. How are they going to wrap it up? I didn't know they would be able to do it in such a nice bow in one episode like they did here, and I feel like it can end now. It feels like an encapsulated singular event, and I like that. I like that I got a beginning, middle, and end to all these characters' arcs, all these characters' relationships, and I feel like, this was just a great individual season. Some really great performances, some incredible comedy moments, especially by Walton Goggins and Jesse Gemstone, and then a lot of actually good messaging. When I first started this show, I thought it was going to be, just talking about the hypocrisy of televangelists, the hypocrisy of the church, and you get that. You get a little bit of that, but you also get some really strong messagings on what it is to be a good person, what it is to be maybe a good Christian, and to practice what you preach. So at the end of the day, I think that it accomplished everything that it set out to do, being entertaining, having a little bit of messaging to it, just overall really fantastic. Alright guys, so those are my thoughts on the final episode of The Righteous Gemstones. Let me know how you felt. Let me know how you felt about the series. Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Who was your favorite character? What were your favorite comedic moments? Like I said, previous episode with Baby Billy in the car with his girlfriend/wife, hilarious. This scene with Judy and BJ at the Outback Steakhouse, hilarious. So let me know what you guys loved about it. Always interested to hear that in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and see you next time.